this time in verse 2. And do not be conformed to this world, but we are to be transformed. How? By the renewing of the mind. It's the knowledge. We have to be transformed by the knowledge of God, that we may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect. So we, as our actions, prove what the will of God is. How can you prove what the will of God is if you don't know the will of God? For his people perish for lack of knowledge. We must have knowledge. And as we gain this knowledge, we must go and show what the Lord has done for us. Not everybody will be acceptable to your message of your change and your salvation and what the Lord has done in your life and how he has healed you. But we are still to go and show. In John chapter 15, and we go and show, and we're also to be taken out of this world. The things we used to be involved with the sinners of this world, which I know we all sin, but there is a difference between the left and the right. There's a difference between the goats and the sheep. You are either in the pasture of Jesus Christ or you're not. In John chapter 15, verse 19, it says, if you were of the world would love its own. But because you are not of the world, that's us. We're not of the world anymore. We're of the spiritual world of God through his Son Jesus Christ. We're different now. We're a different people. We belong to a different person. We have different motivations now. We have different purposes that God has proposed on us through the gifts we receive through baptism, because we're all gifted to do something. So if you were of the world will love its own, but because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Matthew 5:6 tells us to go shed and go show our light. So we are to go show the light. We're supposed to get out of the world, get into the spiritual world, get busy, and then go show the light that we have in us burning brightly out to a dying world. So we are to go and show the light of Jesus Christ. So the question is, we all have to look in the mirror and ask ourselves the question, what are we doing for the cause of Christ? Compare what he has done for us. He has never faltered in his love, his devotion, his commitment to us. That's just what he wants in return. Isn't that a fair relationship? I mean, a lot of people are married here. You give to that person, you don't expect to get anything back, but that person gives back the same love. What if one's giving all the time, one's giving all the time, one's giving all the time, one's receiving all the time, and not giving anything back? What happens to that relationship? I'm not saying it's going to end, but it struggles. That's the same relationship we have with Jesus Christ. He gives us and gives us and gives us. And if we don't recognize that, wake up every morning and count our blessings, which it does help. Be thankful for what we do have. When you start counting your blessings and make sure you do it every day and it becomes a habit, you begin to realize how much you really have. We have a lot of stuff, not just materialistic, but we have a lot of people in our lives. We have a lot of love in our lives. We have relationships, and we just have a lot to be thankful for. And therefore, since Jesus gave us life, that's all he wants back is for us to give our life to him and do his bidding for him.